This is Jorge, and you are in No Land for Lazy Chefs. Hello everybody, and welcome again to my kitchen. And this is No Land for Lazy Chefs. Today we're going to cook something very typical for Catholics, which is something very common all over Spain, which is, you can call it a Lent stew or codfish stew. So here you see some of the ingredients. I'm just going to go step by step to let you know. It could be cooked any time of the year, but if you really want to impress your guests, you need to get a little bit of time, and the ingredients are basic and easy to find. But seriously, you will impress your guests if you decide to cook this. So let's show you what's in here. You need a little bit of time, okay? But it's worth the final result. This is a very easy recipe to cook, although it needs some preparation. So at least the day before, you should put the garbanzo beans, about a pound approximately, and a couple of, maybe 3 spoonfuls of baking soda. Here you are, they are the garbanzo beans. As the beans are dry, we have to soak them in water in between 12 and 24 hours. And it has to be the amount of water at least double of what is the beans. Well, covered in water, and now we're gonna cover it all together, and let's wait until tomorrow. Okay, 24 hours are gone, and look at the size of the garbanzo beans. Here we are. So what we do now is we need to rinse them. Just like that. Wash them a little bit. So they're gonna go now in a pot, and we're gonna start cooking them. Cooking them for about an hour and 15 minutes. It has to be like al dente, because we need to finish cooking them with all the other ingredients, which I'll let you know once these are done. So let's go for it. Well, here is most of the things that we are going to need. We're going to need this chard. This is supposed to be with spinach, okay? But in my family, traditionally they use chard. It could be with spinach. So this is what we're going to need. We're going to use only the green part. This white part, in another video, I'll let you know what you can do with it, okay? But you will see me later while I'm cooking all this. I will use only the green part. Then we're going to need a coffee spoon of ground cumin, a coffee spoon of paprika. It could be sweet, it could be hot paprika if you want to, or bittersweet, which is a mix. I'm using bittersweet. 3 cloves. Here we have 3 cloves, and I'm using 3 bay leaves. So these 3 bay leaves, I'm going to put it together in the same container. I have like about 7 cloves of garlic already peeled in there. We're not going to chop them, just peeled as they are. We're going to need an onion, that I will chop it of course, and the main ingredient are the garbanzo beans. So now, what are the pots that we're going to need? We're going to need 2 pots. One of them is going to be just the size to cook the garbanzo beans, which is this. You will see in a moment how we got these garbanzo beans to become this. Isn't it magic? Okay, so here we go. Let's start cooking everything. So we get the small pot that we're going to use just to boil the garbanzo beans. Here we are. Let's put the garbanzo beans inside. All of them into it. And we are going to add water. As you see, just enough water to cover the garbanzo beans, just like that, perfect. And that is what we're going to get it now and put it over the fire, right? Yes. So, gas on. If you have electric hob, just put it as in maximum, and we need to start waiting until it boils. When it boils, we reduce the power of the gas or the electric. Okay, so we need to get them boiling. Right. Well, the garbanzo beans are already there. We need to wait until it boils, but we're going to put 3 of all these cloves of garlics that I have here, just 3 of them inside, together with the bay leaves and the cloves. In this case, 3 small ones, 1, 2, and 3 here in the container. There you are. In the meantime, you should have around 1 larger pot, because don't forget we need to add all these other ingredients later. So this is a slightly larger pot. I think that the amount of portions that we are going to cook here is for a whole family. Let's say something between 6 and 8 people. It depends on how hungry you are. So this is the pot I'm going to use. I'm going to put it just aside because I'm not going to need it now. We're going to need this later on. Something really important, which is the main ingredient, which I haven't mentioned in purpose yet, is this. This is, guys, is codfish. And it's codfish that is already desalted. That is popular in Spain and also in Portugal by all means, but here is a Spanish recipe. So these are the little chunks of fish that I have cut, and they're supposed to be like the loin of the codfish, and it's been desalted. It comes already salted from North Atlantic just to preserve it for a longer period. Here have a closer look of them, and you have to keep them in water, fresh water, and every 8 hours you should change it. But you know, I know it takes a while. 8 hours for 4 times, that makes a total of almost 40 hours. So they sell these already desalted, but you can go on the old style tradition if you want to, and here you are. So we have to have these also ready to be used once the garbanzo beans are cooked. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to peel and chop the onion and toss it into this little bowl. Okay, let's do it. As you see, the onions are already chopped, and we're gonna toss them into this little bowl together with the garlics, just there. And let's put this just on the side, just waiting for it. Well, here we are. Let's start working with this bunch of guys. And as I said earlier, we're going to use only the green part. I'm just going to discard the end bits of them because normally they're not that pretty. Okay, that's why I'm going to discard. That is this. And for the rest of it, as I said, about, I would say, almost an inch. Alright. I'm tossing them in my sink, which is filled with clean water. We have to wash them and rinse them. Okay, time has gone and the garbanzo beans are already cooked. They need 5 more minutes, as I said earlier. We're going to rinse them. Here we are. Okay. Smells beautiful. Anyway. Okay, let's continue with the next step on the cooking for all this that we're doing today. Remember this guy that I showed you earlier? This is what we're going to need now. So from now on, we're going to cook on this. This is the easiest part, okay? And it's going to take us no longer than 15 minutes to cook everything with all the ingredients that we have already prepared around us. Let's start. Let's go to the gas. Here we are. Turn the gas on. Just put some oil in it. You all know that I like using extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just putting enough just to cover the bottom of the pan. Okay, that's all I need. If you don't like extra virgin olive oil because maybe for you it's a little bit strong the flavor, just use your sunflower or canola oil or any of the oil of your preference. That's entirely up to you. What do we have here? Spices, remember? And we have the chopped onion and the garlics. The very first thing we're going to use are the garlics. So we're going to get just the garlic and toss it into the oil. So we can see that the garlics are starting to fry up with the oil. This is when we just toss the onions chopped inside. There we go. All of it. We got everything. Good. God. I don't know about you guys, but I just love the smell of garlic. I love garlic, and I also love the smell of the onions while they're frying. So now the oil is really hot. What we're going to do, we're going to turn the gas down a little bit. I would say like a medium power of the big ring I have here. And we're going to stir fry this just for 5 minutes, maybe the most. Well, we can see that the onions are just about to start getting transparent. This is the moment we need to toss the spices inside. And this is a very quick step. So keep an eye on it. Remember our spices: 1 coffee spoon of bittersweet paprika, could be sweet or hot, in my case it's bittersweet, and a coffee spoon of grounded cumin. We toss it inside, just like that. There we go. We have to be really fast here. Stir it for barely 30 seconds, no longer than that, and then turn the heat off completely. Chicos, do you remember our friends? In my case it's chard, but it could be spinach. This is when we have to toss all this inside of the pan. So we toss everything inside. Here we go. And what we have to do right now is to toss everything together carefully. Remember, we have the paprika at the very bottom and we don't want it to go sour. Also, although we have got rid of the water of the chard or the spinaches, they're going to reduce a lot right now. So we are mixing the sofrito, that's how we call it, what we did earlier, with the onions and the garlics, with the chards. This is just fantastic. Nice. The star ingredient of our plate, the codfish, together with the garbanzo beans, which I will bring it up in a minute. The codfish, here you are, already desalted. The amount of this codfish in weight, I would say, is like about 3/4 of a pound. Okay, let's toss everything inside. Look how beautiful it's looking like. This is just fantastic. Ooh. Mm. And our garbanzo beans. Let's toss all these garbanzos as they are already cooked, remember, inside the pot. I'm gonna leave the bay leaf inside because I just love bay leaf. So let's mix it all together. All like that. And something that you might have noticed that earlier when I drained the garbanzo beans, I kept the broth where the garbanzos were cooked. So we're dropping everything on top of it. Get the fire, the gas, the electric, however you want to call it, in full power. So let's put the gas in full power, or if you have electric hob, in full power until we find all this boiling. And once it starts boiling, turn it down to half the power. If it's 9, then just turn it down into 5. If it's gas like mine, just do it halfway down. But we need to wait until it boils, the whole thing. And then boiling for 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. And I'm going to do something. This is, as I said, it tastes beautiful. But the way my mother used to do something tricky, in case it was far too liquid-ish, which is not for me, but I'm going to show you the trick. So I am going to do something here with my sound, or might look a little bit unusual, but I'm just going to get a mortar. Here we are. Suddenly appear out of the blue, this thing. So just let me get some garbanzo beans, some of them, only garbanzo beans. Try not to get any piece of cod, or if you can, avoid some piece of chard, just garbanzo beans. Let's see if we can make it. Yes, we can. Here we are. Okay, so I'm gonna get the pieces of cod way out of the mortar here, and let's mash everything together. Let's mash everything and make some paste. Believe it or not, this, what it's going to do, is going to thicken up the stock that we have inside of the pot. So this is how it goes. Let's get a little bit of stock from here, inside the mortar, and mix it all together, just to make sure that we are not leaving anything behind. All this paste. You see? Nothing. Let's remove everything. Gas off completely, and I'm going going to give it another try. Here we go. Should be hot. I have just been teletransported to when I was 8 or 10 years old. Beautiful. Look at the final result. Here it is. What we call Lent stew, but it's because there is no meat in it. And being right now a Holy Week as it is, this is a very traditional dish, I would say all over Spain. So that's how it looks like. I'm going to tell you the name in Spanish. Potaje de garbanzos con bacalao, which means garbanzo stew with codfish and chard or spinach. That's your choice. Obviously, right now it's a totally different scenario what it was before the beginning of the clip, but now it's with the stew already made. This is just for you, for everybody. Share, like, subscribe, and have a wonderful, wonderful Easter and enjoy the stew. Bye-bye.